Has Elon Musk saved free speech? That is the big question everybody was asking, because he's saying we're going to open it up. He said even people that don't like me, liberals, people who despise me, I hope you stay on Twitter. That's what free speech is all about.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, I told you that Whispering Ben Carson said, I want to know who people really are.
Yeah. It's a forum. It's a marketplace. It's not mind control, or it shouldn't be.
No.
And so it'll be interesting. He's got several changes outlined here, but we may dive into some of those. But it's,
the left is having fits because they want you to have free speech if you agree with them.
Right. Well,
but if you don't, it's not free speech.
Well, remember, you're allowed to live your life, and there's only one sin.
Right.
That's disagreeing with him.
Yeah, the only sin is you don't agree with me.
Yeah. And if you don't, it's hate speech and it's misinformation and all that.
But isn't this funny? Because we've been saying all along that social media has got too big, too fast. It had a lot of protections early on to grow, and now they're the biggest companies in the world, and they still have these unfair advantage protections, and they're not regulated like anything else by our Congress. And we've been saying, where is the regulation in this? Well, now that Elon has Twitter, now they want regulation.
Isn't that funny?
Isn't that funny?
It's
that
hilarious.
is just.
But you know what?
I mean, that is comedy gold.
You know what? It's so sadly predictable.
Yes.
Sadly predictable. I mean, if nothing else, just don't be so predictable.
And let's take a quick peek at that. What that looks like. 1C, Adler. If you've got that queued up, this is Jen Psaki from the White House addressing some of this.
The Surgeon General has said that misinformation about COVID amounts to a public health crisis.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, regardless of ownership, would the White House be interested in working with Twitter like it has in the past to continue to combat this kind of misinformation? Or are we in a different part of the pandemic where that kind of partnership is no longer necessary?
Well, I think we engage regularly with all social media platforms about steps that can be taken. That has continued, and I'm sure it will continue. But there are also reforms that we think Congress could take, and we would support taking, including reforming Section 230, enacting antitrust reforms, requiring more transparency, and the president is encouraged by the bipartisan support for or engagement in those efforts.
I wonder what Coach Johnson would say about that.
All of a sudden, the thing that the conservatives have been calling for now, they're all in.
230's got to go. We got to get that 230 protection out of there.
You couldn't get a liberal to say 230.
No.
Now they're going to say 230 like a 230 machine gun.
They wouldn't even say 220. They wouldn't even say 220 plus 10.
No.
Well, the White House wants to look into that.
Oh, wow.
See, here is how you fight misinformation. You say misinformation is misinformation.
Right, yeah.
You don't censor it.
Right.
And don't do away with it. Because that only makes people think you're up to something. And half the time, the people who think they are the guardians of the facts are wrong.
I like 1A because I love to see CNN. Yes. I want to see CNN air talent distraught.
Yeah.
So here's
especially when it's George.
Yeah. Here's George Costanza, as we call him, upset about Elon getting Twitter. Here we go.
Look, who knows? I think that's an example of a broader question for Twitter, which is, if you get invited to something where there are no rules, where there is total freedom for everybody, do you actually want to go to that party? Or are you going to decide to stay home? And that's a question for Twitter users. Some Twitter users might love the idea that there's going to be absolutely no moderation and no rules at all. Others might not want to be anywhere near that. Am I crazy, Matt?
What are you talking about?
Rick, guys, I hate to break it to this guy. He evidently doesn't know how Twitter works. You follow who you want to follow.
That's right.
Right.
You reply to whoever you want to reply. You have security measures that you can put in place. What an idiot.
Yeah.
Who lets this guy talk?
Oh, that's Brian Stelter.
That needs to be a new thing. Who lets this guy talk?
He is so much.
Twitter will now.
Yeah.
Costanza. I love it. You know what I mean? I love it.
So now he's concerned about what people are going to be exposed to.
Yeah. Freedom for everybody? What is that about? Am I talking crazy here, guys?
No one wants to go to a freedom party.
No rules.
Everybody gets to talk.
No rules. What that means is somebody wants to mention Hunter Biden's laptop, they can. If they want to mention that they think the virus may not have come from a bat sandwich, it could have been a research project, gain of function, it got out of control, they can say that.
Yeah.
And then if you disagree with it, say it's misinformation.
What he's saying is we will live in a world that we don't control.
Exactly.
Talking about themselves.
Yep.
Well, let me tell you this. Enjoy Costanza while you can. He's a short-timer.
Yeah, he is.
Yes, he is.
He'll never see Christmas at CNN with the changes that because
He's going out with CNN Plus.
Amen.
Yeah.
We're the exact same age, by the way.
Oh, really?
Brian Stelter and myself are the exact same
Costanza?
age.
Yeah.
Yes,
Wow.
he's 36 years old.
Your level of hipness compared to his, I mean, it is.
Buddy.
Wow.
Well done.
I love at the beginning of that
And you
clip.
got 2 foot more hair.
At the beginning of that clip, he goes, like, say you were invited to something. I've never been invited to a party. But, if I had been as a kid.
I understand there's these things called starts with a P. I've never been to one. No one invites me.
Listen,
Party.
we have one other soundbite here I wanted to see, Rick. This is MSNBC.
MSNBC talking about it.
If you own all of Twitter or Facebook or what have you, you don't have to explain yourself. You don't even have to be transparent. You could secretly ban one party's candidate or all of its candidates, all of its nominees, or you could just secretly turn down the reach of their stuff and turn up the reach of something else, and the rest of us might not even find out about it till after the election.
What I love is he described word for word what has been going on for the last 10 years.
that we want to correct.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny?
Let me tell you
He's
how
a
you
dish it out, can't take it guy.
Hey, you can dish it out, but you can't take it.
No.
Hey, let me tell you what you can do with Twitter. We know. That's right. That's why Elon Musk bought it.